hand jam is a key weapon in the crack climber's arsenal. It's really a technique which you have to become really quite proficient at to start improving on your crack climbing. As you can see, the hand is not necessarily suited towards jamming within a crack. It's a fairly parallel shaped object on the end of your arm, and when we slide it down the crack, it's generally not going to start to jam. But what we do have is we have this thumb on the side of the hand, which when we move it across and move around with that thumb, it starts to expand the hand and provide an expansion tool. So what we're trying to do when we're expanding our thumb within the crack is move our thumb towards the area of our little finger. So we're almost trying to touch that within the crack, and this will really expand the width of our hand once it's in the crack. And one final element of it that we have to use in addition is to bring our fingers across, bracing it on the other side of the crack at the same time. So if I show you the crack here, we'll place our hand into the crack until it's in a fairly kind of snug position, not too tight, and then we'll bring our fingers over onto one side, bracing so that our fingers are touching on one side and the knuckles on the other side. And then from that position, we'll tuck our thumb towards that little finger until it gets really tight, and you'll be able to feel that you'll be able to pull really hard on that now, and you've got a good seated, secure hand jam.
When we're hand jamming, there's two main techniques that we can look at, and one is doing thumbs up jam or thumbs down jam. Usually if you're doing thumbs up jam, then the crack would be more vertical and you're doing a more hand over hand technique like that. And if you need to use a thumbs down jam, this crack lends itself to that a little bit because it's going diagonally across the rock, so you'd do more of a shuffling or swimming technique. So you'd have your top hand going with thumbs down, your bottom hand going thumbs up, and you'd move more like that rather than crossing over yourself. You'd move with a swimming technique like that. And then if it was going leftwards, you'd have your left hand with your thumbs down and your right hand with thumbs up, and you do the same swimming technique like that. Because the crack is leaning slightly to the right, here I'm going to use a thumbs down jam in there because it's easier than putting it in like that. You can swing round to the right and use, well, you can use face holds on this for your feet.
Once you gain experience with hand cracks, you'll start to find your own natural rhythm.
Using good footwork on hand jamming cracks is really important. So what we do, when inserting our foot into the crack, we turn our foot sideways and allow our knee to travel to the outside of the crack. We then slide our toe into the crack, often about halfway up the foot, until it can't go any deeper, but we don't apply any pressure yet. So that's seated in nicely, and then the point when you want to start standing up, you turn that knee so it becomes parallel with the crack. You get a lot of rubber making contact with the sides of the crack there, and it'll be really torqued in hard, and then we can move up and stand up really easily, and that'll jam in.
Often people have a worry that their feet are going to get stuck in the crack. If you find your foot stuck in the crack, then twist your knee outwards from the line of the crack again, and you'll find your foot easily released. Join us for the next episode of Wild Country Crack School, which is all about fist cracks.